Steve Sambles here for IC Places Hollywood. Our premiere episode, guys, and we're at the 17th Annual Critics' Choice Movie Awards. And we're on the red carpet right now, and the festivities are just about to start happening. If you look behind me, there's a million people from different TV stations all over the place. And we're here to bring you the 411 on everything Hollywood, and what better place to start off at the Critics' Choice Movie Awards. And by the way, we are here exclusively, only can be seen on Bright House Networks. So stick around, guys, we have a lot more to show you. That's me talking to director Guy Ritchie before our interview. Pretty cool, huh? You know what's really cool? It's how I got here. Like most kids, I found my heroes in the movies. My dad took us to drive-in theater every Friday. It was there that I found the best and the worst that Hollywood had to offer. My first date was in a movie theater. When I grew up and work sucked, you could find me in a matinee recharging my batteries. Then one day I decided to create a website, IC Places, to write about movies. Tech grew and cameras went from this to this, and we started filming the Instant Movie Review. That's when a guardian angel took notice and invited me to stop talking about movies and start talking to the people that make them. And that's how I ended up here in the movie capital of the world. I'm Steve Sambles, and this is my show. Welcome to IC Places Hollywood. Hey guys, so here's what's happening right now. We're standing on the red carpet, we're waiting for the arrivals to begin. But let me tell you a little bit about the Critics' Choice Movie Awards, what this is all about. The Broadcast Film Critics Association is a group of 250 movie critics. They're the people that you and I listen to when it comes to what movies we should see and what movies we shouldn't see. If you're reading an article or watching a TV show and there's a critic, usually they're a member of this upper echelon guild of film critics. They're the ones that actually vote on the nominees. They're the ones that vote on the winners as well. Tell me about the parallel between the Critics' Choice Awards and the Academy Awards.
Well, I, in my opinion, I keep hearing that the Broadcast Critics Awards are a great predictor of the Academy Awards, but I don't agree with that. I think that they influence the Academy Awards. In other words, if Sandra Bullock had not won here 2 years ago, I'm not sure she wins the Academy Award. I'm not even sure she gets nominated. You know, but what happens is that this group puts into people's brains, and you know that to me is a tremendous value. But you know what? The Oscars are great. I'm a member of the Academy. I love the Academy. It's part of my life. But this group and the awards that people get from it stand absolutely on their own. It's the biggest critics organization on planet Earth. Now what we're doing right now, basically we're waiting for the arrivals to start happening. On the red carpet, you never know what you're going to get. We're going to try to bring you the best we can, and then later on we'll be in the winners room and talk to some of the winners after they've received their awards. Once again, Steve Sambles for IC Places Hollywood. We'll be right back.
What? Sorry, but I think we went to high school together.
At the same time?
Yeah, you're Mavis Gary?
Mavis Gary Crane now.
I'm Matt Freehoff. My locker was actually next to yours all through high school.
Matt. Freehoff. Yeah. Yeah, your locker was right there. Right next to mine.
We didn't run in the same circles. You were pretty popular, if I remember correctly. You won Best Hair.
Did I? What did you win?
I didn't. They usually give out like 15 of those, and only to like the same 5 people.
Being around you with your quirky, amazing things you write, are you like that in real life? What do you think?
Oh gosh, I'm terribly boring in real life. I love to hear that Patton says nice things about me, but I'm just a typical mom.
You nailed this movie. What were you going for when you went for it? Because it's so different than anything else we've seen in a long time.
You know, that was what I was going for. Is that when I sat down to write it, I thought, I want to see a reflection of real life that is uncomfortable and is. I feel like a lot of movies seem to follow a very similar trajectory, and they get tied up with a bow at the end.
Very templated.
Yeah, I wanted to do something different.
And my favorite part of the movie was at the very end where we thought she was going to be redeemed, and then Patton's sister kind of sends her off into the doldrums. What was that about?
That's one of my favorite scenes, because it's about how sometimes we are poised to make a change as a person, and we're about to grow, and then something just sets us back and we don't change at all.
Thank you so much, and good luck tonight. I am with Tate Taylor, and by the way, your story is inspirational. The way you made this thing happen, and the movie turned out to be just extraordinary.
Oh, thank you.
Was it because of the group of friends you put together to make it happen? Is that why it turned out how it did, you think?
Yeah, it was all just a wonderful serendipitous cocktail of everything going right.
Just a whirlwind just came together, huh?
Just a perfect storm of great things happening. It was friends, loyalty, trust, hard work.
It's not just the movie itself, but the way you make it is an inspiring story, and I really wish you guys luck tonight.
Thank you.
I think you walk away with all the rewards, obviously.
Oh, I hope so.
Thank you, brother. Good meeting you. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break right now, but when we come back, more from the 17th Annual Critics' Choice Movie Awards.
Right after my father died, I'd come up here a lot. I'd imagine the whole world was one big machine. Machines never come with any extra parts, you know. They always come with the exact amount they need. So I figured if the entire world was one big machine, I couldn't be an extra part. I had to be here for some reason. And that means you have to be here for some reason too.
And when you do a movie that's going to be 3D, do you almost feel the score has got to be bigger and deeper because of that?
I think with 3D that there's a certain sense of intimacy because the image is a little closer to you. And there's also more depth of field. And how I worked with it musically was I created a sextet that was inside the orchestra. And so the sextet created the intimacy and the orchestra created the depth.
Well, how does a guy go from being a drummer to being the drummer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the first two albums, to doing scores? Where does that come from?
There's not much crossover. I pretty much had to retool to enter the film world.
Seriously?
So there wasn't much connection. I didn't. What I learned in the Red Hot Chili Peppers playing drums didn't really apply to film stuff. But I knew I wanted to stay in the music business. Right. I didn't want to wear a sock on my genitals at age 40, so I figured I had to do something
No Muppet pants or anything like that?
No, I had to kind of retool to sort of survive in the business. So I don't think there's a whole lot of it. I think if there's any skill that I was able to use, it's the mindset of an accompanist, which is what a film composer is. It's not about writing music that's front and center stage, but you're there like a drummer to make the singer look good.
This movie, as a composer, you had more of a job than normal because there was no talking in it. So you had to carry that movie. Am I right? Or do you feel like you had to be stronger with your music than normal?
Well, it was very difficult. The process was very. It was very dangerous for me to express the best. To do not the indigestible music, you know. So we were very close with my friend director Michel Hazanavicius to do my best for.
On a role or a film like The Artist, was that a gutsy? I know.
She's loud.
You do speak English, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Hello. Hola, hola.
Que pasa, man? To take on a film like this, was it a gutsy move, do you think?
I think it's incredibly gutsy. I think it takes a lot of courage to make a silent white black and white film in 2011. I think that it's remarkable that we're getting this much love and this much attention, and people are really thrilled by it, and we're just so proud that I'm proud to be a part of it, and I just think it's a testament to our incredible filmmaker.
You know what? For me, it was such an experience to realize that so much emotion could come without words.
I know. Well, I think that's amazing that you don't have to hear our voices to really understand what's going on and still be caught up in it and moved by it and laugh and cry and dance and cheer. And so I think it's great. I think we've had enough of the special effects and the 3Ds and all that. I think we're going back to the beginning, why we fell in love with movies, why we fell in love with Hollywood. And now we're being honored by Hollywood. So that's thrilling.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Your father's done what he had to do, you know that. 30 guineas isn't nearly enough to purchase a horse as fine as your Joey. I know that. But it's all I've got. Will you lease him to me, Albert? To be my own mount? I promise you, man to man, that I'll look after him as closely as you've done. I'll respect him and all the care that you've taken with him. And if I can, I'll return him to your care.
Good to see you. First of all, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
You won the award for the Best Director of Photography for Warhorse.
Correct.
And I was just telling people that with Warhorse, if you even turn the sound off and just watch it, one of the most visually stunning movies I've ever seen.
Thank you.
I've ever seen. When you did this movie, it's so warm. What were your thoughts? What was important to you while you were filming this?
Well, I think you're dealing with specific periods. So all the beginning of the movie when you're establishing the characters and establishing the environment, you want the audience to feel warm and friendly towards the story.
Yes.
And gradually as the movie is progressing, the colors are being taken out, it becomes bluer, becomes more shadow, it becomes more gritty, as the story is turning into being that kind of a story, you know.
For a young man that's out there that's watching you right now, that wants to do what you do someday, what would you suggest is the right way to get started to do what you do?
Well, I think for anybody who wants to become cinematographer, they have to learn how to tell the stories through images. So the best way to be get a still camera and create a assignment. In 12 frames, I want to create a story. Let's say of my mother getting up and making breakfast and so forth.
Genius.
And then, you naturally, then you get a video camera, you start making longer movies.
That's absolute genius. Listen, once again, congratulations on the award tonight, and the movie was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Is that all you got? Because it feels like I'm fighting a big old fluffy cloud. Well, this cloud is about to bring the thunder. Your turn. Why aren't there so many signs?
And you just happen to be the highest grossing female director in the history of cinema. Did you know that?
It's very odd. It's one of those statistics that when they told me, I went, really? Okay.
Pretty awesome. Tell me what's happening with animation. Why is it so great now? I mean, animation is getting so good. It stands up right next to film with human beings on film. What's the reason behind that? What do you think?
I think the stories are really, really universal. I think they're things that everyone can appreciate. And also just the scale of these things are right up there with any other live action big spectacle film.
Hey, Steve Samlis, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Andy, I got to ask you a question. In Rise, you did something that was transforming for actors. You were able to take your personality and transform it into this character that in essence wasn't you but was. Where was the breakthrough? Because there was some kind of a breakthrough where we felt you in that character so much. Where did that come from?
Well, I mean, the use of the technology, the performance capture technology is such nowadays that because we can shoot on live action sets with the other actors, whereas before we had to shoot the performance capture elements separately. So there's a much more of an interaction.
Because you really feel like you're acting with
that's because I'm on set with, say, James Franco and John Lithgow in those scenes, in all of those scenes. And just because I'm not wearing an ape suit, but I'm wearing another type of costume, it doesn't mean that I'm still acting. And actually, this way of acting, you're not encumbered by any of these, artifacts all over you. You're not blocked. There's no barrier, so you actually get more of an internalized sort of truthful performance.
There's a very mild essence that comes out that you really feel an interaction where you don't ever. I mean, you feel it before, but this really was a game changer.
Well, I think, I mean, it is to do with the technology reaching a point where it is that transparent, you know, in the same way that any actors, when they bounce off each other, there's a chemistry there.
Yes.
That's what it's got to now. It allows you to have that. And then the director, obviously, he directs the scenes and treats it exactly like a live action shoot, and then cuts the movie. And that's when he's looking at the cut, he's looking at my face and my performance. And then only then afterwards, when he's made that cut, then the visual effects, the digital makeup in effect is laid on top.
What you did was awe-inspiring. Now, are you a year on The Hobbit? Is that how you...
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
How do you, I can't fathom taking a year of your life and do something so intense like that. I mean, what do you need, another year after that to rest, or what do you do?
Well, I mean, I'm not acting for that whole year, because I'm actually directing the second unit at the moment. On the Hobbit, yeah. Well, it is an intense job, and it's beautiful. I'm working with a crew that I've worked with for many, many years, because we go back, to the Lord of the Rings days, and then King Kong, and the motion capture team I've worked with for all of those years, and we've really developed as a team. So
you grew up into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I am literally standing on the shoulders of giants. These guys' minds are incredible. Weta, the effects company, are an extraordinary company.
I can't imagine where it's going to go too, because it's getting better and better.
It really is. Now that there's a sort of, as I say, this growing understanding, I think more actors, more films using performance capture technology will come about.
They'll embrace it.
Yeah,
because they can embrace it.
Yeah.
Andy, have a good night. It's so cool. You got your whole family with you.
No, it's
That's
fantastic.
awesome. It's good seeing you, brother. Cheers. Take care, man. Okay, first of all, I just got to say, if the only reason somebody buys this DVD and Blu-ray is just to see you eating a bug, it's worth it. And it was the theme of the entire movie, it seemed. You growing up in Alaska.
Yeah.
Alaska. Thailand.
The big difference is the bugs.
Bugs, big bugs, right?
Big, little mosquitoes, bigger mosquitoes. Yeah.
Selena on the special features of the DVD, in the middle of talking, she eats a bug.
Yeah, a bug flies right into her mouth. Yeah.
That right there? Yeah. It's what we call an ambulance.
Is that what that's called?
That may be our ride to and from set in the next couple weeks.
Victor, watching the special features, so you were 2 fights into the movie and already beat to death. Was this like the most physical thing you've ever done?
Definitely. I mean, besides training for a fight or, I think that we had a month of training in Bangkok before we even started. So when we actually got out there, I was already beat up. I mean, and then I wanted Matthias to be seen taking the hits, to be seen jumping on the chariots, be seen doing all that stuff, not cutting away and see his back and have a stunt double do that.
Yeah.
That's not the way that I want to do it. I think it's my job if I'm going to be an action actor is for the audience to really be doing this stuff.
Yeah, to believe it, because they see you, right?
Yeah, and I think, I'm doing them a service. I want them to be sucked into the movie and not look at the back of some guy's head and be like, oh, that doesn't look like him. You can always tell when somebody's there.
Yeah, instead of your hair, right?
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a blonde wig instead of a dark one.
You went into this knowing that's what you wanted, and they wanted that too, but they were almost talking you out of taking the role because they were going to abuse you so bad.
Real tried to talk me out of it. When in the very final and the screen test at the end, just done this martial arts demonstration. We'd done the scenes a whole bunch of times. We sat down and had a little conversation, and he said, "You are not having a stunt double. You're doing everything, and that's including jumping off of waterfalls, chariot races, all your fights, all that kind of stuff. And you're going to be battered. You're going to be bruised. You're going to be beat up. There's no rest. There's no going back to your trailer in between takes. You're working nonstop the whole time." And I was just like, "Where do I sign up? Let's do it.
In, right?
Let's go for this ride."
Fight well, mortal. Perhaps we'll take you with us.
You've never done fighting before, have you?
Never, no. Because I have background in dancing, it's not that hard because, you know, I'm trained to kind of be flexible and learn, you know, how to do body movement and footwork, you know, with the double sword. So it was easy to learn the choreography.
Boston, you've done some, well, you did the movie Otis, which is just amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, Otis was fun.
And you do directing as well
I
on
direct
stage.
theater, yeah.
I don't remember seeing anything this physical either.
No, this was like a first action movie for me. I mean, I've had the stage combat experience.
Yeah.
So it was similar to that, but and Victor really took me under his wings. I mean, we were there weeks before, and we were training every day, 6 hours a day, 6 to 8 sometimes.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Did you lose like a ton of weight?
I did, because it was really hot, and we
Just,
worked
like,
a lot,
sweating all the
and
time,
I just
right?
sweated it down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably lost over the course of shooting about, 20-something pounds, maybe at least. And you know,
my God.
Yeah, yeah.
The only thing that you must do is obey me, slave.
We are warriors of the book, my lord.
Tell me about shooting in Thailand, because this is a very physical experience for you. How do you stay in shape and keep on your diet when you're in an odd environment like that?
That's a good question, because the diet part was not easy to, and they, everything in Thailand's MSG.
Is it really?
MSG and everything. And I have a horrible
Give you a bowl of MSG?
It sounds really childish, but I have this horrible reaction to MSG. I mean, I really do. My face turns bright red, and my blood pressure goes up.
Oh, jeez.
So trying to convince them, or even just translate that, because they don't call it MSG. It's not MSG. And
Salt.
So it was a little difficult.
Tell me about filming in this place where it's not a set. You were in this old. Did you feel the soul of this when you were filming?
A lot of times, a very common occurrence for us, I mean, especially for myself, and I know Boston and shared this, is we would walk into these ruins and these temples, and your hair would stand up. You would feel the years in these places and the energy that would be coming up, and I mean, you can't build that kind of stuff in a set.
No.
It's just it added such a sense of reality, and it took the production value through the roof, and really gave us stuff to work with.
What mortal dares to awaken the warriors of the book?
Do you always prefer an action movie as opposed to, because that seems like what you're doing a lot of them?
I grew up watching Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan with my dad, so that's got a huge place in my heart. But at the same time, I love to explore different roles. For me, it's about just finding a role that's challenging, and if I can incorporate the martial arts, that's great.
When you were filming this, from what I saw, they used multiple cameras.
Oh, yeah.
More than usual.
Yeah.
Did that give you a certain freedom that you didn't have to worry about how you were being blocked and stuff like that?
You've got all these different angles that I was completely unaware that I was even being shot at, because you're there doing your thing, but you've got all these cameras from different angles, and you don't really need to worry because they're going to get it.
What will our audience expect from this movie? What can they expect to see in it?
I mean, it's an action movie, and you get action from the beginning to the end. It is nonstop.
Action. This movie is non-stop action.
You've got some just great characters. You've got Billy Zane's amazing. And he just steals a movie. He's just wacky king.
If they're a fan of Scorpion King, they're gonna love this movie.
Batista and Kimbo came in and rocked it, and they're so physical and believable. And Selena and Crystal.
Obviously, it's a big action movie, but I have to say there's a lot of comedy as well. Boston is particularly funny.
Is he funny?
He's a funny guy.
Lots of explosions, lots of hot babes and
hot
skinny
babes with
outfits.
swords? Come on, right? So basically everything a guy needs in a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like, the special features and everything were amazing, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time with me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. So guys, there you have it. That was our premiere episode of I See Places Hollywood. We'll be back every single Friday right here on Bright House Networks. So for I See Places Hollywood and Bright House Networks, I'm Steve Samblis.